Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishna. Here basically we are discussing the topic that is investment basically. So one person basically told that basically investment of text box basically. So here the argument started basically between Space Center Group and the satellites groups. They started arguing basically how basically you can give the text box to us without testing. So they told that basically, do you know basically in per day American income is basically America expense is what to run America basically the world is spending more than 1 lakh crore. So one person told that if America is basically getting expense of this much basically, that means they are supposed to get the output also. So they were supposed to test. So here one of the space center groups directly basically started arguing that if anything basically is going to happen in universe, in satellite, in space center, America will be responsible for each and every stuff basically which is going to happen in, and mostly basically it might have happened also because text box is created I don't know how many years before basically, mostly basically it might have created 30-40 years before basically. So one of the person told that why basically it was not tested by the Microsoft. Then Microsoft basically told that basically I don't know anything basically about this. The thing basically which Sunil and I are basically telling, he basically don't know basically everything. So here the question basically came by the Space Center group is the whatever things basically is going to happen in universe, in that basically the America will be responsible. So one of the person told that they are why basically they are basically having the number one designation in world basically. They should give that designation to China basically. They should give this designation to Japan or basically take let the Iran basically take the responsibility. Because if the silly thing basically this was supposed to be tested, that basically they had not tested. The example basically I have taken as heart attack basically. Heart attack disease basically how one basically the political person basically one assume that basically the America is doing the investment basically in investor by sorry the America is American basically are investing per day basically 1 lakh crore, that basically is the American businessmen basically are doing the investment, and that basically everybody knows who is that basically might be Elon Musk basically who basically purchased the Twitter basically. So he will be responsible. So that basically directly the satellite group and space center group basically told. Then here the question basically arrives is why basically it was not tested? Why they basically told that why basically India is not staying in this world basically? That also basically is question basically. Why basically India is not supposed to tell this basically? This was supposed to be told by Indian software companies. Why they are not told it? So they basically started arguing to the India basically. So basically now basically the Indian American president and Elon Musk basically started communicating with the software companies that which all are the software companies basically the company owners basically who are basically into the American income basically because 1 lakh crore basically they are spending, so they are not taking money everything basically in their house. They are giving mostly 50 lakh crore basically might be to Indian basically. So why basically India basically don't have anything basically? They are not staying in Earth planet basically. They can basically do this type of activities that Sunil Arni is not supposed to get job. When Sunil Arni basically visits the Mumbai city, he basically is supposed to get lots of problem. India basically Indian cricket team basically whenever basically they are playing, they basically must win the match. They basically that this everything basically they know, but this thing basically they don't know because they are spending 50 lakh crore to India only basically. So 50 lakh crore basically, it's not a small amount basically. This was told by American president. That is also, he's also basically might be correct. Because one country basically can't do anything. So they basically started collecting this list of software companies basically who are Indian. So first company that basically is Infosys, Narayan Murthy. He's told that basically if Microsoft don't know, Java don't know, SAP basically don't know, then how basically we are going to know? Then one of the set space center basically group told that basically why basically you told that basically BCom people basically are not supposed to be enter in Infosys, and this basically thing was told by one BCom person basically. Then how basically you told that basically BCom person are not supposed to be enter in Infosys? This basically, so that means one of the person told that space center is watching Sunil R Nair videos. That also basically one of the person basically told. So that also might be correct. If one normal person basically who is basically just graduation BCom basically, he basically can track this. The textbox thing basically was not tested. Reason was basically Microsoft don't know, SAP don't know, SAP company basically. I'm telling about the company basically. The projects not basically. The projects are which are getting created in SAP. Like Accenture basically takes the projects from the Microsoft. That Accenture company I'm not talking about. I'm talking about Microsoft directly basically. The base companies basically. So Infosys basically directly told this basically. That Microsoft basically don't know then how basically the Infosys knows. So one of the person told that Infosys knows this how to not to give job to Sunil R Nair. But they when basically watched this video, that time basically they also told that they basically are we basically have done mistake basically by not taking BCom people basically. Now basically it has what to say basically it has spoiled the name of the Infosys basically who actually listed that BCom people are not supposed to be taken in the human the human resource person basically who told that BCom people is not supposed to be taken in the Infosys environment basically. And what is environment? My previous video basically you can watch this. So one of the person told that the 1 lakh crore is not a small amount basically. If we are giving money 50 lakh crore to Indian basically, that is the India country, the Indian businessman basically, that is Reliance, TCS, Infosys, IBM, Wipro, these all are the then the WNS, Capgemini, Patni, Oracle. Oracle is Indian company basically. Lots of people says Java. They are spending more than 1 lakh crore rupees basically. Sorry, it might be crore also, it might be Indian rupees also. So they are spending this much money and 50 lakh crore basically they are giving to India basically. So that's basically the very dangerous thing basically which was tracked by space center basically. One of the person told that if this video basically they might not have watched, then it might possible that lots of people basically might die in space center basically. It might possible that lots of people might have died basically. Without this testing basically they have sent everything to the space center. If one person basically is testing basically he basically gets lots of problem in earth planet basically. In Pune basically when I was in one of the company I tested a few softwares basically. I don't know what the problem basically I faced from the political people basically, from the NCP group basically. NCP group literally basically 2 to 3 times basically accident was happened to me basically in Pune city only, because I was testing one of the software basically which was connected with the American government project when basically I was working in Pune basically. So one of the person told that testing is also basically how to do. Sunil R Nair basically tested one American project basically in Pune. So NCP entire group basically fired Sunil R Nair. So they tracked that basically up to this level Sunil R Nair will reach. So he has reached today basically up to that level. So here American group told that basically we have invested 50 lakh crore. From 50 lakh crore basically they have invested to 25 lakh crore to the Pune city basically. Because in Pune city more than 1000 software companies basically are existing still. And the entire Pune basically is in mountain basically. So one of the person told that who is responsible basically, and every Pune city basically when basically Sunil visited Mumbai to for job basically, the Pune group basically started there also basically they created problem to Sunil Arnair so that basically he is not supposed to get job in Mumbai cities. Up to that level basically torture basically was done by Pune group basically, that is the NCP group basically, that is the Congress party. So in next video basically we are going to see.